Hello everyone. So in this video, we'll be seeing how to simplify expressions. Now in the previous video, we have learned what were expressions and also how do we evaluate expressions. But in this video, we'll be further seeing how can we simplify expressions. Now in the previous video also, we have learned what are expressions. If anyone remembers what are expressions, they are quite different from equations, and we already learned about it. Now remember, expressions do not have any equal sign. An expression does not have an equal sign, whereas an equation does have an equal sign. So this is the difference between an expression and an equation. Always remember that an expression does not have an equal sign. It's just an expression with variables and numbers. Okay, so what are the things we need to keep in mind when we are simplifying expressions? Simplifying means we are making it more simpler, rather how it looks. So an expression when given to you will have a mixture of variables as well as numbers. There will be like more than 2 or 3 variables with more than 2 or 3 numbers. So all what we are going to do is we are going to make it just into a smaller expression so that it will be easy for us to know when we are evaluating expressions. Okay, so there is only one very important step you need to follow. And what is that one important step? You have to arrange the variables together and numbers together and rewrite the expression. Rewrite means you have to write the expression again. So what do I mean by saying arrange the variables together and numbers together? Well, this might not seem important to some, but it is important so that you will know the method for simplifying the expressions. Now, what did I mean by arrange and rewrite the expression? So let's look at an example. So here the expression is 9x plus 4 minus 3x minus 2. So as you can see that there are two variables in this expression, two terms with variables. So 9x and 3x, and we have 4 and we have 2. But also remember, in the previous video for evaluating expressions, we also learned that the number, which is the symbol which is in front of the number, that is the sign which is in front of the number, belongs to the number. Okay, so here there is no sign, which means it is positive, and here the positive sign is with 4, so the positive sign belongs to 4. Then the negative sign belongs to 3x, and the negative belongs to this 2. Now, what are we going to do next? The most important one step is arrange the variables together and numbers together. So when we arrange, what are we going to do? Let the 9x be where it is, because it's always preferable that we write the variables first. So 9x, the negative 3x, because when the variable moves, the sign which is with the variable moves too. So 9x, then minus 3x will move with the 9x. And then what will happen to the 4? It will go with the numbers, which is 2. So when the 4 moves, the symbol, the sign which is with 4 moves too. Okay, so when you rewrite your expression, it looks something like this. So 9x, then 3x will move with the 9x because they both are similar, but also the sign moves, so it becomes 9x minus 3x, then plus 4, because with the 4 the plus moves 2, and minus 2. So when you solve this, how are you going to simplify this expression? 9x minus 3x. What does 9x minus 3x give you? It's just like how you subtract or add numbers. Just forget the variables. Okay, so 9 minus 3 will give you 6, right? So you just have to say 9x minus 3x gives you 6x. Then plus 4 minus 2 will give you a plus 2. Now these are also given in one of the previous videos where we were solving integers. We were adding and subtracting integers. You have to remember the rules. Please go back to that video and watch the video so that you will remember the rules on how to add and subtract integers. So plus 4 minus 2 will give you a plus 2. So this is how you simplify expressions. Here we are not evaluating. Evaluating means they will say x is equal to 3. So you have to find the value of the expression. But here we are not evaluating. We are just simplifying the expression. So your simplified expression will be 6x plus 2. Let's go to another example, a little bit different one. Okay, here we have 4. In parentheses, we have 2 plus 4x plus 1. Now, what does this 2 plus 4x plus 1 means? Now, according to the order of operations, you know that you have to solve what's inside the parentheses first. How are you going to solve what's inside the parentheses first? You can see that there is 2 and 1. So you can add both of them, 2 plus 1, to make it more simpler. But you cannot add 4. Do not add 4. You cannot, because 4 is a term with a variable. You cannot add a term with a variable with a number. You can only add numbers together and the variables with the terms, variables with the variables together. Okay, so to make it simpler, first solve what's inside the parentheses. So which numbers do you think we can solve inside the parentheses? Yes, you're right. You can only add 2 plus 1 because they are two numbers. So the first step here is simplify what's inside the parentheses. So that's 2 plus 1, which will give us a 3. Okay, then what are we left with? We are left with 4x plus 3. Can I say 4x plus 3 is 7x? No, I can never say that because I cannot add a variable with a number. Now we are going to multiply. Now when you know in parentheses means you have to multiply. So some number which is with the parentheses you have to multiply. So you are going to multiply each term which is inside the parentheses with the number which is outside. So this is what this parentheses mean, which means you will be multiplying 4 by 4x. And then 4 by 3 as well. You have to multiply each term which is inside the parentheses with the number which is outside. So 4 multiplied 4 will give you 16x. 4 multiplied by 3 will give you 12. Now you might be confused. Why did she say don't add the number and letter together? And now she is multiplying the number with the variable together. That rule which I said do not add a variable and a number together is only for multiplication, is only for addition and subtraction. You cannot add or subtract a variable with a number, but you can multiply or divide a number with a variable, just like how we did now. So you can multiply a number with a variable. So 4 multiplied 4x will give you 16x, and 4 multiplied by 3 will give you 12. So your simplified expression is going to be 16x plus 12. Okay, now to move on, we can just try some more examples. Let's do this. Okay, now here 2x plus 5 plus 3x. So what's the first thing I need to be doing? The one important rule. What was the one important rule? Arrange the numbers together and the variables together. So to start with, I keep 2x like that. And what am I going to move with 2x? Of course, I will bring the 3x together, but also the symbol. You cannot only move 3x like that. You also have to bring the sign which is with 3x to that. So which sign is with 3x? It is plus 3x. Okay, and then with 5 there is a plus sign. So plus 5 remains like that. So the next step is to simplify it. 2x plus 3x will give you 5x, because 2 plus 3 is 5 and x is x, plus 5. Now, can we add 5x plus 5 and say it is 10x? No, you can't, because always remember, you cannot add a variable and a number together. So your simplified expression is 5x plus 5. Okay, now the next question. Now this question, I leave it to you. Do it and then write your answer in the comment box. Next question. 4 plus 5x minus 3 plus x. Now this is a little bit longer than what we did previously, but the rule remains the same. The one important step, keep the variables together and the numbers together, arrange them so that you will never make any mistake. So, and it's always preferable, keep the variables first. So I will start with 5x. Now I won't write plus 5x. You know why? Because we never write a sign in front of a number. If there is a plus sign, we never write it in front. So we don't write plus 5x. So which is the other variable which I have? X. So it is with the plus sign. So I move it with the plus sign as well. So it's going to be 5x plus x. Then which number is there already? It's going to be -3. And then I will bring the 4 with the negative. So 4 is plus, as you know that there is no sign here. That means it's plus. Or you can even write +4 - 3. It's the same. Okay. Now, you might be confused. Why is this x alone? What do you think is going to be in front of x? What is with x? It's going to be a 1. Always when an x is alone, that means the value of the number which is with it is 1. But we usually don't say 1x, we say it's x because it's only one x there. So we don't write the 1 there, we just leave the x. So always remember, if an x is alone, that means there is always an invisible 1 in front of it. Okay, now 5x plus x. Remember the invisible 1? So 5 plus 1 will give us 6x. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, 6x. And then -3 plus 4. Now again, to the rules of adding integers or subtracting integers, what was the rule? If both digits integers have different signs, what do? You subtract them. So 4 minus 3 is 1. But which sign are you going to give? Are you going to give the negative sign or the positive one? You have to give the positive one because 4 is greater and 4 is having the positive signs. Plus 1. So this is going to be your simplified expression. Next, now this question, I leave it to you. Solve it and write your comment below. Now moving on to the next question, as the one we did previously, it's same. Okay, in this question, what are you going to do first? You have to simplify what's inside the parenthesis first. So let's simplify it. So which numbers or which letters am I going to add together? I have only 3x inside and no variables, but I have 4 plus 1. So I will add 4 plus 1. So I will rewrite the expression with a simplified way. So 4 plus 1 will give us 5. Okay. Then what's next? You have to multiply 2 with each of the terms inside. So 2 multiply 3 will give you 6x. And plus 2 multiplied by 5 will give you a 10. So your simplified expression will be 6x plus 10. So this was how you solve or simplify expressions. Now to a little bit advanced one. You cannot call it advanced, but it's similar, only the way we do will be a bit different from the previous one. Okay, because there is a variable out of the parenthesis. So always, according to the order of operation, you multiply or you do what's inside the parenthesis first. But here we cannot do anything inside the parenthesis because it's 2 minus 2x. So after the parenthesis, when we cannot do, we multiply. So let's multiply it. 7x remains the same because we are not doing anything with 7x. So multiply 3 with each of the terms inside. So 3 multiplied 2 will give you 6. Then put the minus sign. Then 3 multiplied by 2 will give you 6x. Or basically it's 3 multiplied by -2x will give you -6x. Now these are the rules of multiplying integers. Now what's the next step? Bring the variables together. So it becomes 7x minus 6x because with the 6x the minus sign moves too because it belongs to 6 plus 6. So how much is 7 minus 6? That's going to give you a 1x plus 6. Now wait, will we ever say it is 1x? You can not write it as 1x, rather you just write it as x plus 6. As I told you, there is always an invisible one when the x is alone. So we leave it as x plus 6. Now again, this is your responsibility. Try to solve it and let me know the answers. Okay, so this was all your lesson for today. But let me show you something. This question was an easy one, right? You can see the cloud saying it's so easy too. Now, here, you might be confused. What is this about? Why are we studying all this? You will come to know why you are studying all this later on. But for now, you think you are confused with the lesson. The only thing is practice. Practice, practice, and practice. That's the only key to learn math. As you can see, the orange is trying to practice skating as well. So same way, we want to learn math. So only key is keep practicing, keep learning. Think that math is easy. Never think math is difficult, because once you make up your mind math is difficult, math will not get into your brain. It's not difficult at all. It is one of the most interesting subject you will love to learn if you think math is easy. So keep practicing till we meet in another video. Thank you for watching.